right, hello and welcome from SAP Sapphire 26. My name is Andy Wiesner, Senior Solution Architect at Protera. I'm joined by the one and only Binoy James, our Senior Vice President of Applications. And Binoy, we're closing out this awesome Sapphire.
Yep.
I don't know, this year it just felt like there was a new energy. After COVID, I think that Sapphires, some of the hype, some of the energy just wasn't there.
Yeah.
And this year, you walk onto the show floor and you could sense that there was something different. I don't know, did you get that same thing?
Yeah, exactly, Andy. I called it out actually in the build-up to Sapphire, and we was able to see that, actually on the floor. I think the official count is somewhere maybe just shy of 20,000 people attendance.
Really?
Yeah, in attendance.
I didn't hear that.
For Sapphire.
It felt that way too.
I think Christian called out about 4,000 to 5,000 partner attendees as well. So well attended. We're slowly rising back to the pre-COVID levels. We're not there yet, but we're getting there. And the momentum is, SAP is leading the way with the momentum at the Sapphire. So really happy to be here with all of my Protera colleagues, and it was a great one.
Yeah, no, it's been just such a good week. A lot of just great interactions with customers, a lot of meetings, a lot of things going on. And I think as we dive in, I think just to recap, even right with the first keynote, I think SAP and Christian and the whole team, they really set the tone for the event and for those things to come. And so they opened up with kind of that video, and it was all about the autonomous enterprise, right?
Yeah.
And maybe if we pick up from there, I mean, the autonomous enterprise, like making that statement is kind of bold, is it not?
Yeah.
Like, what do you think? Are we there?
Yeah, so actually, before we get into the autonomous enterprise, I wanted to actually state how Christian framed the keynote. He opened with the sentence, Joule, tell me if SAP will be a software company in the future.
Yes.
And funnily enough, Joule came back at the end to answer that question and said, no, it will be a autonomous enterprise.
Yep.
Company.
Yeah, I think they said like a business AI software company, or
yes,
business AI company. Yeah.
Yes, and based on autonomous enterprise, right? So the three things actually they brought up in discussion of the autonomous, it was one of the components of the autonomous enterprise, but it was based on the business AI platform, right?
Yep.
The autonomous enterprise, which is really the meat of what was the discussion, and then a little bit of the Joule work aspect, which is slated to be the front end for going forward, right, for SAP. So in terms of the autonomous enterprise, the vision or the dream of having all of these agents coordinated, doing their special domain-specific activities, and then coming together to provide answers to the end user, across multiple disciplines, like breaking down silos and really working together to provide that answer is really something that is exciting as something going forward. For us veteran as Sapphire attendees, I've been coming here since 1997. Sapphire is always a directional event. It provides direction, it provides a vision of where SAP is going in the future. It is not meant to showcase something that's available right now, right? So whereas a number of events in this, number of announcements in this event are partially available, the autonomous enterprise with all of the things that it encapsulates is something they're working towards, right?
No, and that's such a good point. I mean, there is an element, and they say you've got to keep that, take everything that you hear with that grain of salt, because that first keynote really is about that strategic vision. And maybe it's not here today. And I think that's a well way of stating, the question is the autonomous enterprise. We're not there today, but I think SAP, with what they talked about, and we'll get into that a little bit more, but with that direction that they've stated, they made it clear. They're in it for the AI game. They're showing where enterprises can go and what they hope to become.
Yeah, I mean, SAP has a long history of coming from the back and then leapfrogging others in a specific technology or a solution. When they did it with the .com era, with the portals, buying InQMI and then releasing enterprise portals. They've done it time and again. This is another area where they're maybe coming to the party late in the AI space, but the intent with which they are approaching it and the direction that they're going with domain-specific assistance within the autonomous enterprise, bringing it all together and delivering for the customer is something I think they will have great success in. The beauty of the solution is that you don't have to use all of it. You can take the components that you need and leverage that for the success of your business.
No, that's such a good point. And you know, so where did Christian go next? But he talked about, okay, we're going to unveil, you know, this business AI platform. And you know, he started with, you know, where is the brain of the company, right? And there's your ECC environment, and you've got this, you know, you've got your data, you've got your governance layer, and you've got your context, and then you've got this, you know, they call it the autonomous suite that sits on top of there. And it's kind of this combination, right, of BTP and Business Data Cloud and AI. And I don't know, I thought it was interesting. You know, I think that there's a lot of truth, and the way that they position it was really good. But at the same time, I thought to myself, okay, well, these are all pre-existing products, right? Did they just draw a circle around those and, you know, kind of wave a magic wand and rebrand it, or is this triggering something new?
Yeah, I think they released it all under the framework of BTP initially. All of these components were specific portions in BTP. They understand and they see the value of these independent solutions now, having them independent and have a separate roadmap, product roadmap for each of them, and being able to develop each of those silos into something more than what the initial plan was, right? So in terms of BTP, BTP continues to function in very high value for a lot of our customers today. That is by far the most mature product in that suite, in the intelligent, you know, business AI suite, and it is adding value to every customer we know of. We are employed on multiple projects with multiple customers for ECC on-prem customers, cloud ERP customers, you know, customers of all sizes and shapes, right? So BTP is delivering real value today. The BDC is taking a while to get there, but they are strengthening that with 3 recent acquisitions that they're putting significant investment in. And that bodes well, you know, in the areas of master data, in the areas of merging SAP and non-SAP data, and with Prior Labs, which is quite exciting, the access to functional tabular data, you know, through LLMs, right, through Joule. So that's a significant investment and significant broadening of the portfolio. One area of feedback that I'm getting from customers is, okay, you guys had, you know, DataSphere in the past, you had Databricks, and you were pushing those solutions. Now you're announcing an entire new kind of solution, right, using these new tools. Where do we go, right? So we, as a trusted advisor to our clients, are working with these clients to kind of, you know, understand SAP's roadmap and work with kind of guiding them towards what makes sense, right? You may have started your Databricks journey, you may have started your DataSphere journey. I mean, the new API policy notwithstanding, you're moving in a certain direction, and now SAP's announced kind of not a meaningful deviation, but a deviation nonetheless. And so we're working with our customers to kind of inform them and guide them on where to go next, right? And then on the Joule side, that continues to evolve. Joule 2.0 was announced. There's significant leeway on the commercial side. SAP is offering Joule for up to, I think, 12 to 18 months free at this point. They're offering Joule Studio free. They're offering Joule 2.0. And a fun exercise for those of you at home, to go into your Joule setup and type in, when is Joule 2.0 getting released? And you will, the answer will be, I don't know anything about Joule 2.0. So it's something, it's a fun thing to do, but it is coming. It will come sooner than you expect, but it is on its way, and there's significant commercial benefits to at least starting a pilot, a POV, with your existing environments, right, now, right? Start that journey now. The beauty, going back to your ECC talking point, that one is interesting because what we're hearing between the drapes is that SAP will make available 60 to 70% of all AI functionality for ECC customers as well. The only caveat is you have to commit to go to the cloud, right? So they want you to say, even if you're ECC today, you're undertaking or you're starting to plan a journey to the cloud, because AI in its entirety will only be delivered in the cloud. But you have a opportunity to start taking advantage of some of those transformation abilities right now before you start the journey or as you start the journey, and get there in parallel. Whereas before the phrase was, wait till you get to cloud ERP before we can do anything, right? So it's a definite improvement and a help, right? You got 17,000 odd customers in the world today who are still sticking on ECC, right? So this gives a meaningful way for these customers to start recalculating. What does it mean for me to stay on ECC, and when should I plan my journey to the cloud? Yeah.
No, I sense just so much excitement over that announcement alone.
Yes.
The fact that, okay, you're on ECC, you're still planning out your journey. How am I moving to cloud ERP? And now you've got this opportunity that, you don't have to wait. And I think that there's so many businesses where, S4 is a barrier right now, or they've got other projects that are there. They can't commit to the entire transformation, but maybe they can put some effort into the development of those AI agents. And this is just such a great way to enter into that. So
absolutely.
I love the way that you put that.
Yep. Thank you, Andy.
So kind of going back to what you talked about though, Joule Studio 2.0, huge announcement, great new interface. Like you said, maybe it's not ready just yet, but I know our team and our developers are really excited to get in, and even during the Partner Summit, we got to hear a little bit about just how much that they've improved that interface, and I think that that'll be a good topic for us to dive into as well.
Yeah, that's a great topic, and one of the things that SAP, I want to call out SAP because this is something they're doing in a measurable way, right? They are committing to invest in their partner ecosystem to develop product solutions in Joule.
Yes.
Right? And so this is a kind of an impetus for us to get going, right? Get there, start building stuff, start developing solutions for our customers. And guess what? SAP is going to reward you for it. So that's a significant push for us to get going on that.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if they talked about that at the keynote, but at least during the Partner Summit, I know that I think it was Christian was up on stage talking. He asked the partners to put together these apps, and it was something like 680 agents that they had put together just in the time leading up to Sapphire.
That's right.
He was joking, okay, now I'm going to ask for another 2,000.
Yeah, right. Said we got to 700 odd in so short of a duration, I'm going to ask for 2,000. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's just so much coming on there, and I think that dovetails into the other big announcement, which is the industry AI as part of that autonomous suite, and the fact that now we've got these industry assistants that are there, and I love the architecture for that. It really is looking at, okay, what are these business processes, talking about, okay, here's the individual modules that make up a given business process. But then even opening up and having those points where you can have the extensibility. And so just such a great way for our customers to get in and to customize these AI agents to really know their business and to actually go out and provide that value.
Yeah, I agree, Andy. I mean, for those of us who've managed SAP systems with IS add-ons,
right.
I mean, I can speak for my lack of hair. A lot of it had to do with IS utilities, for example, which was the bane of my existence for many numbers of years, right? So, this is a whole different level. They've upped the game severely, right? We're talking about not code and tables. We're talking about information, expertise in that industry segment, and being able to work with your core ERP and other industry solutions to kind of build a comprehensive front end and an agentic structure to be able to answer these questions, these business questions, right? So absolutely, it's a whole new paradigm shift in the industry add-on concept with the industry AI and bringing that expertise from each domain. We met a customer today, for example, who's from the agriculture industry, right? SAP's never had an agriculture add-on.
No, you're right.
They've never had an ag add-on, right? So today, they are working with large companies in the agriculture ecosystem to get that domain knowledge into Joule and build these industry AI. They are sitting on a forum with SAP, with their domain experts, and the customer's domain experts to build that knowledge, right? And it's not a bunch of IT geeks like us sitting around and talking to these agriculture, superpowers in the agriculture space, but they are, experts in that ecosystem, right? So they're not having a conversation about, which bit versus which byte, right? They're talking about, okay, if you're, storing this crop for this time, what is the impact? What's the need to ship quicker than versus storing it, and so on and so forth, right? So I'm a little bit out of my space.
No, but there's a nuance on that, though,
yeah.
and it is interesting because I think, like you said, I mean, us tech guys that have been doing basis for however long, right? We're always focused on, okay, let's do the technical upgrade, let's do the technical conversion, whatever it is. Okay, yes, there's business transformation, whether it's an enhancement pack, a conversion to S4, or whatever, but now the conversation really has shifted because now we're talking about the business, and we're not just talking generically either. There's been such a push for industry solutions, whether it's coming from the hyperscalers or now from SAP. I think that is really a paradigm shift for how SAP is looking at this. It was more high-level theoretical. Now it just feels so much more tangible. And I know we're not there. We don't have all of the industry solutions released yet. But I think that they're coming, and those conversations are being had. And that's exciting.
And looking at it from the customer's perspective, they're investing their time, their people, their efforts to bolster this product to such a level. Like I said, these guys, the superpowers in the agricultural space, are working with SAP to do this, which means that when they finally release the industry AI, it's going to be top of the line, right? I mean, you're dealing with the leaders in the space, and they're doing this across all of the domains, right? So all of the industries. So you're going to really, SAP has always been a business company, right? They have bought the best business processes. They've always delivered the highest level of end-to-end business processes that an organization enterprise might have. And now they're adding to that with the industry level expertise. So that is between the Joule assistants, the Joule agents, and the industry AI. I think when we get to somewhat of a finished product, I mean, it's going to be outstanding. And this is what I meant when I said SAP is kind of leapfrogging, because while everybody's talking about chatbots and AI and analytics on data and things like that, these guys are bringing a business value to this entire conversation, right? Which is their specialty, honestly. This is where they live. So it's tremendous to see, and that goes back to your opening line, which was the excitement. I mean, every customer I spoke to was excited about what's coming, maybe a little confused on how to get that, but this is where partners like Protera come into the picture, where we are advising them, talking to them daily, seeing what's changing on the business end, and guiding them on the right way forward, right?
That's so true.
Definitely, I think SAP has always come with a lot of opportunity for partners, for customers alike, and this was yet another great Sapphire in that way.
Absolutely. No, I would agree. The autonomous enterprise, maybe it's not here today, but it definitely marks where SAP intends to go. And I think that they made a real statement this year. I mean, you made the bingo card right on LinkedIn, and we're all joking. We expected to hear about AI, but at the end of the day, this was not just the typical AI that we've seen in all of these trade shows leading up. This was different.
Agreed, 100%, Andy. And I have to say, I'll admit defeat. My bingo card is not even half full.
Oh, no.
Some of the things I expected to see were not even mentioned, right? We're at a different level now, and SAP brought its A game, honestly, at Sapphire this year.
No, I'd agree. The last thing, and I'm going to be interested to see where this goes, this is the other fuzzy one, but they did a talk about AI and how can it accelerate your migrations, your conversions, your implementations, and certainly they're throwing some stats around, 35% effort reduction. A couple of partners have already stepped into that realm. it's going to be exciting to see where that goes.
Yeah, it is definitely an interesting development. There was a lot of hallway smirking going on between, customers saying, how will it know my business?
Right.
How will it know what the best way to handle a complex migration is? But if I look at the partners that are the initial kind of, it's Accenture, it's Palantir, right, and it's SAP, right, and those are three giant heavyweights in the space.
Yep.
And I wouldn't put anything past them, honestly. So it's a great area to watch out for. We do transformations, cloud transformations and migrations, data migrations for a living.
Yep.
So for us, it is we are waiting to see how this develops. We would love to take. We already employ a significant amount of automation in our transformation projects for customers. We have numerous customers to vouch for that, but we would love to see what this product development will bring to the table. Of course, if it improves it and guarantees the migration, de-risks it, and brings the value that SAP is claiming it will, we're all in. We'd love to see it and take part in that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be exciting to see how that goes. And
Yeah.
I don't know, as I'm walking away from the Sapphire, there's definitely a lot to think about and a lot to chew on.
Yes.
Is there anything specific that you're taking away that you want to go home and research right now?
The one thing I wanted to mention, I was supposed to mention earlier, but I'll mention it now, is the one area that I think you mentioned it earlier, which I didn't seize on, but the AI extensibility piece of it, right?
Yeah.
The one thing that really got me is a lot of people are really, releasing AI in various forms, right? Chats, whatever, chat bots, whatever, and the mission, and we talk to CIOs all the time. We have an internal AI governance board really to help our customers with this problem, but it's always on the customer to figure out how do you govern your AI, right? Whatever in whatever form it is, you are going to use it internally. We're talking to Department of Defense customers and others who are struggling with this problem. And one thing that was really promising in the keynote, going back to what the team announced, is the fact that you can take Joule and extend it with your own governance policy and procedures around governance, right?
Yep.
So you are able to take your policy documents as it relates to use of data, use of shared IDs, whatever the case may be, and upload it into Joule so that it can then absorb that and create a validated, verified, guarantee of the type of results it shows you. At the end of the day, what that means is that when you're querying Joule for answers, or you want some data or a report or something like that, it is giving you the data, but it's also validating that data to ensure you're getting a consistent, accurate piece of the picture that you asked for, right? That, to me, again, SAP, that's not an area that many people have embraced. They're leaving it, for the most part, a lot on the customer.
Yep.
And here SAP is saying, you already have a lot of this in place, not just for data, but for other aspects of your business. Take it, bring it into the system, into our system, and hey, you have a validated environment that you can then trust the data, right? And it adapts, those policies and procedures so that it is secure when it sends the data, right? So it's that to me was something I felt I needed to call out, because that is, again, an area that not many others are thinking about, right? So it was great to see, again, SAP lead in that space.
No, you're spot on there, and I think that's what I really appreciated about everything that they've messaged. Is it is really a well thought out vision, and they've thought about those details. So,
absolutely.
I'm excited to see where things go from here. And a lot to take in as we go home, and it's a lot of energy. But it's been a good week and a great Sapphire.
It has. I echo that sentiment completely. Sapphire is always fun, but this one was very enlightening. in the direction SAP is moving, and we're all excited. We've got the tickets. We are here for the ride.
Yep.
And we will bring the receipts. So
Absolutely. Well, Binoy, it's always fun to sit down with you and chat, and especially at an event like this.
Yeah,
so
thank you, Andy.
It's been great.
It's been a pleasure. We'll do it again sometime. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.
And so until the next time, I'm Andy Wiesner and Binoy James for the Protera podcast.